10-minute stock trader takes calculated risks, understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data, doesn't guess at trading, follows their plan, doesn't blame others, takes responsibility, and knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart. A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. They spread joy to others, they follow their dreams, they build each other up, they use money as a tool, and they spend as little time trading and as much time living as possible. Welcome to the 10-Minute Trading Room, where we take the guesswork out of trading. Good morning, traders. How are you all doing? Happy December 2nd, year of our Lord 2022. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot to cover. There's a lot of slides. It's going to be a lot of really solid information. So I don't want to delay too long to get into it. But thank you so much for coming. Be sure to ask questions as we go. Spam the chat box. If I miss you, it's not on purpose. I'll come back to it. So go ahead and keep hitting the questions or comments or anything like that there. There are some audience participation segments of this today that I'd like to get your help with. So please do your best to follow along. Do your best to pay attention. Do take notes. This is going to get really deep. I would highly recommend you grab a pen and paper. That way you can be on top of this, because we're going to get in some deep topics here. And I don't want you to miss out. I want you to be on top of it. I want you to come away with this feeling like you just learned $5,488 worth of information in a very short amount of time. So let's see who's here. Dr. Sinclair is here. Glad to see you, my friend. April is here. April is our customer service manager. And tell you what, I couldn't run the business without her. April, thank you so much for coming online right now. Jacob, good to see you. Good morning to you. Happy Saturday morning. Donna, good morning to you. Glad you made it. I know it's early out there. All right, no delays. Let's move on. Let's get started. Clicking the right button. Here we go. This is the insider secrets every struggling trader can use to get finally back on the right side of the market in only 60 seconds without trying and failing to predict the future. Now, this works even if you hate looking at charts and want to know exactly where the market is going. Listen, early on in my trading career, the people that I learned to trade from initially, they were very much against charts. They would say, oh, charts don't matter. Charts are nothing. Charts are meaningless if you're a real trader. I kid you not. That's what these people said. Now, I've learned a lot since then, and I've learned a lot of what they said didn't actually apply to the real world, because I went to people who had made the real money, right? I learned from several market wizards, and I learned that the people who were teaching me to trade initially had no idea what they were doing, clearly. But it took me a while to figure that out, mainly because I paid my Wall Street tuition. But let's do this. Let's get right into that. Let's take a look at the legal disclaimer real quick. I always like to say with the legal disclaimer, I'm just some random guy on the internet. You shouldn't listen to a word that I say. But if you do, you do so at your own risk. So I'll leave it there. Don't listen to anything I say. Moving on to the next slide. Oh, let me know if you're here in the chat and where you're from. I know everybody who said hi already. I know Dr. Sinclair, Jacob, April, and Donna. But if you're here watching, please say hi. I'd love to know you're here and where you're from. But we do have a handful of celebrity endorsements that we need to talk about real quick. A handful of celebrity endorsements talking about what a 10-minute stock trader is.
10-minute stock trader takes calculated risk. A 10-minute stock trader understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data. A 10-minute stock trader doesn't guess at trading. A 10-minute stock trader follows their plan.
A 10-minute stock trader doesn't blame others. A 10-minute stock trader takes responsibility. A 10-minute stock trader knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart.
A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. A 10-minute stock trader spreads joy to others. A 10-minute stock trader follows their dreams. A 10-minute stock trader builds each other up.
A 10-minute stock trader uses money as a tool. A 10-minute stock trader spends as little time trading and as much time living as possible.
I tell you, those are some fancy endorsements right there from Joe Rogan, former President Donald Trump, Elon, and Gary Vee. I tell you, it doesn't get much better than that. So on today's agenda, we're going to be looking at 3 distinct areas. Number 1, the market trend framework. The 3 quick and easy tests to know if the market tests the... Hang on, I totally misread that. The 3 quick and easy tests the market must pass to know where it's going. There you go. Now you can read English. Number 2, how to ethically steal our $1 million trading formula. And number 3, how to tell exactly which of the 3 types of trading days that we're in today. So we're going to go step by step. Please take notes. Please follow along. Please ask questions if you have any. So if that sounds awesome, type yes in the chat box here. And like I say, please ask questions. But remember, this is a private training for members of the 10-Minute Trading Room. This will come down on Monday. So if you're watching live or watching the replay before it comes down, the cost of admission is hitting the share button because this will go away forever once Monday comes around. So get a pen and paper and take notes because we're going to be covering a lot of detailed information. But I'm also going to be giving you $5,488 worth of trading education for free. My 10-minute stock traders know all about that, and you'll get more on that later on. But promise me you will not use these powers for evil when you see how to trade in 10 minutes a day. When you become a hashtag 10-minute stock trader like us, it's going to change your life. Now, again, I'm going to show you the processes, but this does not guarantee you're going to be profitable. I had a person who wanted to work with me one-on-one, and earlier in 2022, and he asked the question, hey, listen, if I'm not profitable within 6 months, can I have a refund for everything I've done with you? And I'm like, absolutely not. Are you kidding? If you actually have to ask for a risk-free investment, you are not cut out to be a stock trader. Sorry. You're not cut out to be a 10-minute stock trader. You're not cut out to be any stock trader because every stock is risky, period. And this market that we're in right now has been exceptionally tough. Nobody can hide from this market. Now, Richard Dennis says, I always say you could publish the rules in a newspaper and nobody would follow them. The key is consistency and discipline. And the world-class traders that I learned to trade from all have one thing in common. That's that they have rules. This was kind of a eye-opener to me when I realized, you know what, you can do anything in the market, but you need to have rules to follow. A great example of that is in the Trading in the Zone book by Mark Douglas, one of my favorite trading books ever. He talks about specifically that in any job, there's always a supervisor or manager telling you what to do, how to do that job, how to do better, and how to make sure you're not, making mistakes, things like that. But in the market, you have unlimited choices to do whatever you want, and you have unlimited freedom to do whatever you want. Nobody's sitting there, so you can do anything at any time on any stock. But that doesn't mean you should, right? So these traders that I learned from, they all have rules, and they follow them with consistency and discipline, like Richard Dennis was saying. So I'm going to give you some of the rules today, but rules are boring, but rules make money. I just need you to promise me one thing, that you will have consistency and discipline to follow the rules. And when you do, you're going to be trading like some of the greats that I learned to trade from, like 1997 and 2021 U.S. investing champion Mark Minervini. Oh, speaking of, I don't know if I have time to pull that up. I was having a consultation with Jacob the other day, and we were talking about 2021 versus 2022. And Mark won 2021, and I believe his return was like 337%. And we were looking at the 2022 U.S. investing champion results. After the top 4, everybody else was in like 30, 40% and less, which is a huge change over the last years, right? Oliver Kell won it a couple years ago with 941%. So you get out of the top 2 or 3, you're looking at 40% or less. And that was a real eye-opener for Jacob, he was telling me, because like most people don't realize that. Most people think that it's 40% a day. Most people think it's 40% a month. Not most people thinking 40% a year for the top traders in the U.S. investing championship. Yeah, a lot's changed in 2022. I also learned directly from Larry Hite, the first billion-dollar hedge fund manager. Tom Basso, market wizard, Mr. Serenity, best-selling millionaire trading author. We're going to talk more about Steve later on. Market wizard Jack Schwager, and the original Trinity pioneer, Richard Dennis. Now, I took their best lessons and created a strategy to manage a portfolio in only about 10 minutes a day. And Tom Basso, which I met a minute ago, or who I mentioned a minute ago, he he told me when we were working together, he said that his strategy took about 20 minutes and that he needed to learn from me. And I said, no, sir, you are the pioneer here. I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants. Now, my goal with this web class is to show you, number one, the only way for you to be a successful trader is through 10-minute trading. And the only way to do that is the strategies we use inside the 10-minute trading room. Now, who am I? My name is Christopher Uhl, founder and head trader at 10minutestocktrader.com. Awarded top 100 people in finance twice. Been top 100 global leaders in finance, but I've been on TV hundreds of times. Here's a few of the places you may have seen me on. But it didn't start out this way, right? I really want you to understand that I didn't grow up with anything fancy at all. I grew up in a double-wide mobile home in rural Texas, and my parents still live there. I went to a small school in Arkansas. I don't have an Ivy League degree. I didn't work in Wall Street, never have, and probably never will. And I don't have a hedge fund just yet. I'd like to. That's a goal later on in my life. But right now, I don't have a hedge fund. I've never worked at one. But I want you to know that I say all this because you can be successful trading too. But you cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market. That's where a lot of people get in trouble. They think that they know more than the market. Let me repeat that once more. You cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market because trading actually can be easy. Mentally being okay with the losers, that's the hard part. When you follow, and when you know how to follow the proven rules. Now, are you ready to learn the rules? Of course you are. Type yes in the chat box. Jacob says, no, it was 635%. Oh, there were 6 over 35%. Yeah. Crazy. So on today's agenda, this is the market trend framework, the 3 quick and easy tests the market must pass to know where it's going. So this is the framework for our 10 minutes to freedom trading strategy here. And it always starts with the market. And with the market, I look at 3 core sections here. The market must have these 3 things in order to pass. The number one thing that the market must have in order to tell where it's going, I learned from one of the greatest trading books of all time. This is Trend Following by Michael Covel. I have 2 versions of it. This is, I forget what year this is. Give me 2 seconds here. I'll just pull back the curtain here and double check. So yeah, I have 2 versions of this book. I have the one that's on the screen, the thick version. This is from, it's like a textbook, honestly. 2017. This is the 2017 version of it. This is the 2012 version of it. This 2012 version is about half as thick as the 2017 version. And has been one of the greatest investments of my life. It was $9.99 when I bought it. Greatest investment I've ever had. This book, as it says here, how great traders make millions in up or down markets, right? And that's what it says right here on the new version as well. How to make a fortune in bull, bear, and black swan markets. How can you even make a claim like that, right? Well, here's Trend Following in a nutshell. Cut your losers short and let your winners run out of control. Now that sounds amazing, right? But it goes against human nature. And I say it goes against human nature because, think of it this way. Have you ever gotten into a stock and you wanted to take the profits right away? Right? You ever put on a stock, a day or 2 later, you're up 10, 15%. You're like, whoa, this is awesome. Right? You ever find $1 in the ground and immediately grab it? That's the exact same concept. It's I see it on the table. I need to grab it now before it's gone. What if you have a loser? Do you want to give it one more day? When it's not working for you, right? Maybe you say to yourself, I'll sell it when I'm back to break even. We as humans are emotional. And I know when I used to have big losing trades. I don't anymore. I have losing trades, but I don't have big losing trades. Those are gone. Those are done. I remember there were days where I would be making trades, horrible trades, and they would be so close to being a complete total loser. When I mean total loser, I mean like buying an option, watching the value go from, let's call it $5 to 0. It would be at like 45 cents. I'd be like, forget it. I'll just let the 45 cents go. Let it be an entire full loser. Or I'd hold on to it saying, oh, geez, I hope this comes back. I'll tell you, I have been in church early on in my trading career, kneeling at the in the pews and, praying to God, please let this trade come back. It didn't. But it did teach me some great lessons. We're emotional, and that's what drives the markets, fear and greed. You can either work with it or die by it. These are just facts. But one fact remains, there will always be trends in both directions. The trends may be hard to come by. The trends may be short-lived, or they may take a long, long time, months to play out, but there will always be trends in both directions. Now, here's a quote from Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest traders ever to live, and he's also the subject of this book here, which is one of the books I'm reading right now, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. His quote is, let's just go with this part here. Just recognize that the movement is there and take advantage of it by steering your speculative ship along with the tide. Recognize the movements are there and just going with the tide. Do not argue with the condition. And most of all, do not try to combat it. Let's break this down for a second here. One of the greatest traders of all time, making millions and millions and millions of dollars back in 1922, when millions and millions and millions of dollars had so much greater value than it does today. The movement's always there. Point one, movement's always there. Point two, you can take advantage of that. Point three, steering your ship along with the tide. Go with the trend. Number four, do not argue with the condition. If it's going that way, don't argue with it. Just observe and react. And number five, and the most important part of all, is do not try to combat it. I told the story in the trading room just yesterday that when I first started trading, based on those people I mentioned earlier, they would be, quote, contrarian traders. And I put a trade on one day that the market was going up, so I sold calls against it, which is a bearish position. Not a single moment went by, not a fraction of a second was that trade ever profitable, because the market was going against me and I was trying to combat it, because that was contrarian trading, which is really stupid. So if you hear anybody saying they're a contrarian trader, run as fast as you can. So here is a chart of Tesla, right? We've removed prices, we've removed dates. All that matters right here is one line and price, okay? Price being the red and green bars, the one line being the blue line that runs around it. I cannot tell you what number that is. It could be the 10 period, because that's usually my blue line, but I don't know. But what you see on this is that there are opportunities here, as Livermore explained, both directions, right? Let's say you got in when price crossed over on this bar right here. And let's say you held it all the way until price closed under. Let me see. There are no price close unders at all until here. That's a long way down. Or a long way up, I should say. From here to here. You didn't have to even touch it. And let's say, you know what? I don't trade bearishly. Or, for example, let's say you don't trade bearishly in Tesla. And you watch it come all the way back down here, taking out 2/3 of those profits you already made for everybody else except you, because you got in and you got out and you let everybody else take the losses. And then you're like, oh, I'll get back in here. And maybe we'll have another situation right here, right? You can trade it that way. You can be only bullish. Miss all the down moves and just wait for it to come back around. If you can master this strategy, you're in the top echelon of traders. And look how simple it is. Simple doesn't mean easy, but it's simple. Enter when price closes above a moving average. Exit when price closes below a moving average. Right? Of course, you could do that here again, and you might lose a couple dollars, might make a couple dollars, whatever. But you avoid all of this back move here, which could be half or 2/3 of that entire up move, and you're out, and you start the cycle over again. There will always be trends in both directions, and that's what's so important to understand. And it really is that easy. When prices are going up, it's a bullish trend. When prices are moving up, you need to be looking to go long. Don't argue with the condition. Don't try to combat it. When prices are going up, you should be long. When prices are moving down, it's a bearish trend, and either don't trade it because you don't want to trade bearishly, or go to cash. Take advantage of the movements by steering your speculative ship along with the tide. When I figured this out, it immediately made trading so much easier. How do you quantify a trend? So Steve Burns, author of New Trader, Rich Trader, also one of my very favorite trading books. I had the immense opportunity to work with Steve over many occasions. And I remember specifically asking Steve, this is early on in my trading career, I remember asking Steve, how do I even figure out what a trend is? How do I even know which direction the trade is going? And he broke it down so easy for me that I didn't even realize it could be that easy. He said, look, Chris, just add any trend line. Any trend line. Doesn't matter. Is the trend line pointing up? Your trend is up. Is your trend line pointing down? The trend is down. Is your trend line pointing sideways? You don't have a trend just yet. And I was like, holy moly. You take a screen that has no... Hang on, let's do this together. You can take a chart that has absolutely no markings on it whatsoever. And I could see, even today, finding the trend could be kind of hard on this, right? Which way is the trend? Is it down? Is it up? Is it sideways? How do I know which way the trend is? Just throw any moving average on there. You can see, oh, okay, during this period it was down. This period it was sideways up. This period was down. This period was sideways. This period was up. This period was sideways down, and then actually down. And then you can throw a longer term one on there. You can say, oh, okay, this is the 10 versus the 200. You can see down. And then the trend is starting to roll up. It doesn't have to be complicated. It feels like it can be, but it doesn't have to be. So when I learned from Steve, interestingly, I'm an avid reader, as I mentioned earlier. I'm always reading. I was just reading through Brian Shannon's book, Technical Analysis Using Multiple Time Frames. I was just reading through this one 3 weeks ago. They said the same thing. Now, I don't know if Steve was taught by Brian or Brian was taught by Steve or if they came to their conclusions separately. But they had the exact same thing. Brian, hey man, good morning. New traders follow emotions, which put them at a disadvantage. Rich traders follow systems that give them an advantage. And to define an uptrend, you need the 10-day over the 20-day and price over the 50-day. They both said the same thing in their book independently. And that kind of blew my mind when I saw that. The 10-day over the 20-day, price over the 50-day. So what does that mean? What does it break down to? The 10-day is 2 trading weeks. The 20-day is 1 trading month. The 50-day is about 2.5-ish trading months. So 50 trading weeks. Or I'm sorry, 10 trading weeks. 2 trading weeks, 1 trading month, 2.5-ish trading months. That's really what it breaks down to. Is price going up over these periods, or is price going down over these periods? Now, if you're looking for a new sport jacket and you see price going up, maybe you're not excited about that. If you're looking to buy a house and you see price going up, maybe you're not excited about that. But if you're buying a stock and it's going up, maybe you are excited about that. That's the point here. Is that when you're buying an asset, you want it going up. Like that house, it may sting really hard when you're getting in, but if prices are going up and they continue to go up because the trend is going up, that's what you want in your investment. So these are the 3 areas I mentioned earlier. The 10-day over the 20-day with price over the 50-day. We'll talk about these other 2 parts in a little bit. And this can go on for a really long time. This is the SPY. I don't have the dates on it right here. But the 10 was over the 20 when all period except this one right here, throughout this entire time frame, that was a bullish trend. And then right at the end, it curled over. The entire time it's bullish. Just trade with the trend. Now, this test that you just learned takes 2.5 seconds. A 3-year-old could do it. Any 3-year-old could tell you, that's what I was trying to say. Any 3-year-old can tell you the trend when they look at this. Which way is it going? Which way is the price going? It's going up. Why would you want to fight this? But I did. That's how I blew up my account twice. Was because when there was a clear trend, I wanted to be a contrarian trader and fight that trend the whole way up and just lose hand over fist all the time. Why would you want to fight that? But not only this, it actually shows you when it's over. Because price will start moving around, moving averages will start crossing over, and it goes the other way. You just have to watch and pay attention. The number one thing that the market must have is the trend. How do you determine the trend? The 10-day exponential moving average over the 20-day exponential moving average. Price over the 50-day exponential moving average. That's what you need. It's that easy. Now, what else would we need? We need market breadth. Breadth is the distance or measurement from side to side, the width. How many stocks are participating? I heard somebody say this one day and it made total sense. The general being the market and the soldiers being the individual stocks. The general can only march so far without his soldiers. The general, being the market, can only march so far without his soldiers. Now imagine this. There's 5 players on a basketball team, but only 20% are playing. The other 4 are sitting on the bench. That's market breadth. That's team breadth. How many points do you think they're going to score? Probably not very many. So even if the market trend is moving in the right direction, are there enough players helping to score those points? Imagine you had your team of 5 players. They keep getting fouled out, but you don't have any substitutes. So your score was 75. Your score was 80. You're making all these points, but at some point, you don't have enough players on the team to be helping you score anymore. And you get overtaken, and the market goes down. This one market breadth indicator, this one thing for me changed everything. It really did. And it's partly why I'm talking to you today. But the funny thing is Google doesn't even know about this. Right? Google knows all about the MACD indicator. Google knows all about the RSI indicator. Google knows all about the stochastic indicators. But the MMFI indicator, it's like, are you sure you don't mean the MFI? Are you sure you don't mean something else? This is what the MMFI indicator shows, right? It shows market breadth. As you can see here, this was taken a while ago. When the market gets smushed, you run out of breadth. And there are times when the breadth just plummets. It's telling you what's happening behind closed doors, right? It's telling you what the soldiers are doing. Even though the generals work in one direction, are the soldiers working with him? Adding this one indicator tripled my profits, and that's not an exaggeration. And it increased my win rate by 13%. And it finally helped me to become profitable and trade with way more confidence. So the second thing you have to have in the market is, number 1, the trend. Number 2, the market breadth. So how do we determine the breadth? Using the MMFI indicator, and you want to see it over 50%. Over 50%. What is the MMFI indicator? Let me back that up a little bit. This is the percent of stocks above their own 50-day moving average. You know, we talked earlier about adding moving average to your chart. How many stocks in the entire market are above their own 50-day moving average? And it varies, of course. What else do you need? You've got the trend. You've got the market breadth, right? You know the trend is looking one direction. You know market breadth is working one direction. This is giving you the market direction when you click these two together, right? They can line up and you can be sure the market's moving in one way or another. But when they diverge, the best thing you can do is wait. Now, we've seen a lot of that over 2021 and 2022. And it's tough when you see the market making new all-time highs, but market breadth is down at 20%. That's really hard to wait. But that's the best thing to do. Because at some point, it's going to get overwhelmed and start coming right back down. So what's the last thing that we need? We've clicked the market trend and the market breadth together. The last thing we need is market timing. Now, this is a tool that I use called FinClub. FinClub.ai, you've heard me talk about it all the time. I use it literally every single day. This is our unfair advantage. This is the artificial intelligence data that I talk about. This is what lets us see the data that the dark pools, what they're doing. What are the HFTs doing? What are the hedge funds doing? Right? I've heard stats recently about like half of the market gets traded behind closed doors, things like that. They can't hide their orders. You just need the data to access it. Using FinClub makes it dead simple to know how to time the market. Because it's either red light, green light, or orange light, or yellow light, right? It's either going up, going down, or waiting. That's how we put these three components together. The trend, the breadth, and the timing. When you have all three together, you're on the right side of the market. Do not argue with the condition. Don't try to combat it. When you've got all three together, you're on the right side of the market. Quantifiably so. So that is the 3 quick and easy tests the market must pass to know where it's going. Are you getting this? Is this cool or what? Yeah? Here's the key point to remember. You can see which way the market is going in about 2.5 seconds. It doesn't have to be hard. So here's the next section. How to ethically steal our $1 million trading formula. Part 2. Now I want you to do this live with me. I'd like to go through 10 charts with you, and I want you to look and tell me 2 things. So in the chat, put in your favorite stocks. Put in as many as you want. Go to town. Apple, Google, Netflix, Tesla, Microsoft, Panera Bread. I don't know if they have one. Pfizer, Moderna. I'm just thinking of stocks off the top of my head. What's around me? I don't even know. Nvidia, Intel. Go to town. Walmart, Target, Costco. Tell me your favorite stocks in the chat. And then we're going to look at each one. And I want you to type in a number 1 if it's bullish or number 2 if it's bearish as we go. So light up the chat, take notes, follow along, and ask questions. This is how our 10-minute stock traders are successful. They ask why. They try to understand, and they don't just blindly follow. They understand that the market changes every day, and a solid strategy will adapt to all market conditions. So be sure to ask yourself if you're following the rules. So in the chat box, spam your favorite stocks. We're going to go through each one, and I need you to type in number 1 if it's bullish or number 2 if it's bearish. So let's jump right in. Give you guys just a second to type that in. Let's start with the market. SPY. I'm going to put the 10 period, the 20 period, the 50 period. Just want to see. Oh, it's back under the 200. Told y'all. Not to say that it was for sure going to come back. Buy puts on it, but I didn't feel like the market would sustain that move over the 200. All right. 10 over the 20, price over the 50. That's bullish. Fact. Now I've got a list over here, and I'm going to keep going until I see some come through in the chat. And we're going to go through one at a time, randomly. Boom. THC. Tenet Healthcare Corporation. You've got the 10 over the 20. Let me make this bigger. You've got the 10 over the 20. You've got price under the 50. This is an inconclusive trend. This is sideways. This is one I'm avoiding. Because you can see it's been very bearish for ages and only recently had a strong move up, but it doesn't have enough legs to cross over the 50-day. Just yet. It could, but not yet. So that one is bearish. Try another one. CTAS, Cintas Corporation. You've got the 10 over the 20 over the 50. Plainly bullish trend. Absolutely. TCDA. Boy, I don't know what happened to them, but they got wrecked. They went from $12 to 24 cents. I know nothing about this stock, but I do know one thing. That's pretty bearish. UAL. You've got your 10 over your 20, price over your 50. That's bullish. CGC. You've got your 10 over your 20, price over the 50. That's bullish. Now, CGC was one of those cannabis stocks from ages ago where it like blew up super, super high. And this has been the trend of 2022. Check this out. This stock is down. This stock is down from its all-time high to now. Holy moly, 93%. The stock is down 93%. That's 2020 in a nutshell. Mark Minervini has this incredible rule. It's called the 50-80 rule. He says on these high-flying stocks exactly like this, there's a 50% chance it'll go down at least 80%. And an 80% chance it'll go down at least 50%. Here's a perfect example of that. I'll give you some more. Teladoc was one. Teladoc is down 90%. Not 80%, 90%. But let's regard our concepts here, right? The 10 went under the 20-day, price went under the 50-day, back when it was still at $246. It poked its head up a couple times, but during this entire move, that's basically been the case. The 10 under the 20, price under the 50. It's not rocket science, but you have to know how to read it, right? It's exactly like playing a musical instrument, right? I learned to play trombone. When I went to college, I actually got a trombone scholarship, which is how I met my wife. She was in the band playing clarinet. And I didn't know how to play music when I was born. Just like I didn't know how to play, I didn't know how to play stocks. I didn't know how to trade stocks when I was born. But with skill, you can read the notes on the page. With practice, you know how to play the notes on the page. You can read it and you know how to play it. Apply that to the market. You know how to read it, you know how to play it. So these are the rules that you need to have whenever you're learning to do that. So yeah, you got to have the rules to be successful. And perfect practice makes perfect results, right? Not crappy practice doesn't make great results. Practice doesn't make perfect if you're practicing the wrong way. Keep that in mind. Success doesn't happen on accident. That's one of my favorite quotes. But you can take the shortcut. Imagine how much easier it can get once you start treating it like a game. You know the rules. You know how to play, right? You know how to read it, just like you know how to read the music. And you know how to play it from practice. You're not going to win every trade, but you can learn from every trade. Here's the key point to remember. Follow the trend. Doesn't have to be so hard. Just follow the trend. So that was our second area, how to steal our $1 million trading formula. You think you can do this? Of course you can do this. It's not hard. A 3-year-old can do it. Is this line over that line? Is the candles, the bars over the other line? Break it down. Simplify it. Number 3, how to exactly tell which of the 3 trading days we're in. Now, this is Richard Dennis. He made $290 million by the time he was 29 years old. And one of the things I learned from him is that there are 3 types of trading days. There's offensive, defensive, and transition days. What are those? Let's break them down. Offensive days, all market conditions line up, right? This is what we covered earlier. This is when everything right here is in alignment. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Or bearish, bearish, bearish. An offensive day is all market conditions are lined up and we can trade with confidence. Now, there are times when it doesn't line up. What do we do when it doesn't line up, right? Maybe you've got bullish, bullish, bearish. That happens frequently. Bullish, bullish, bearish. Or bearish, bullish, bullish. Either way, if they don't all three align, what do we do? You have to ask yourself one question. It's an easy question. Am I already in the market? Do I already have money at risk? Do I already have stocks or options or anything else on? If no, wait and cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. I love this quote so much, and I reference it weekly at the minimum, probably more than that. Wait and cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. A transition day, we're not in the market. We're going to be waiting for the market to come to us. But am I already in the market? And yeah, I've already bought stocks, but it's not lining up to be an offensive day. What do I do? That's a defensive day. You're already in the market. You're not adding to new positions. You're playing defense. You're making sure that what you have on now, the money you have on at risk, that you are reducing risk. I say that every single day that we have a trade on and we're going into the following day. The objective for that day, before we put on any new trades, is to reduce risk. You must think in that terms. Reduce risk, reduce risk, reduce risk. And on a defensive day, you're not adding new positions. You're waiting in cash to add more, as long as it takes. Now, both of these types of days, you do not make new trades. You're just going to hold your cash. You're more likely to lose money. And keep this in mind, the market's way bigger than you. As Jesse Livermore would say, why fight it? The market's telling you where it's going. The market is telling you where it's going. Don't be a contrarian. Do not be a contrarian, because trading is easy when you know how to play by the rules. You need to have an offensive day, a defensive day, and a transition day. So here's the key point to remember. Align your actions with what type of day it is. Offensive days, the market is lined up and it's ready to go. You can put on new trades. Defensive days, we're already in the market, but we're not going to add to any new trade, or we're not going to add any new trades today. Transition day, we're out of the market, 100% cash, waiting for opportunities. So do you think you can do that? Of course you can do that. Type yes in the chat box if you think so. Of course you can. So there's the three areas that we wanted to cover today, right? And this has been awesome. Do you understand the power of why we go through this? Do you understand why we go through this? Most importantly, do you understand how it works? Because trading's easy when you know how to play by the rules. And I want to show Kavan's video. Kavan was one of our trading room members, and I think he had a lot of good things to say.
With Kavan, I'm giving away free consultations for members of the trading room, and I just want you to hear exactly what Kavan says.
I'm watching these stocks today, and it's like I have Peloton and Fastly, and I'm looking at them and they're following the back test as planned. And I'm like, I'm telling my friend Rob, and I'm like, yo, I'm happy. And he's like, why? I'm like, I finally found something, a setup that I can use. I can go in there. I don't need anybody. I can go in there and I can make the trade my own. I can follow your steps A to Z, and I can plan my trade. As you said, 10 minutes a day, no hassle, no headaches, ain't got to stress. And he's like, for real? So no, I have him taking the previous course that I took because it laid a foundation for me. And I'm like, if you understand what these guys are teaching, then hop on over to Chris, because these guys are going to lay a foundation with the little fundamentals, like, you know, like the basics. And then when you transition over to Chris, then you will start understanding a little bit more. So, you know, you put in the roof on now. They build the foundation. I did my little thing. You put in the roof. You know, I'm eventually going to learn how to put some furniture in the house. As you can see, it's empty. You know? so you know, that's the goal, man. And I'm loving every minute of it. And the way you teach, it's simplified. And I ain't got to sit there and draw no trend lines. I ain't got to look for no breakout candlesticks. Like, which candle is this at the end of the day? Is it a doji candle? And I'm like, I'll never learn to read candlesticks pattern. Like,
You probably know candlesticks better than I do at this point.
I'm like,
I literally
I'm
don't know anything
I'm
about
like,
them.
I'm like looking, I'm online on Amazon looking for a good, candlestick, book to learn to read candles. I'm like, I'm not learning none of this stuff. I'm just going to pay attention to what Chris is doing. I put the lines on there, and dude, I take screenshots of them and I look at them every day, because yesterday I was showing everybody. Like, I call all the guys, because I have all the guys that come in the group is guys from my work.
Mhm.
You got Josh, Daniel, Chris, and Rob. They happen on the live when you have. I invite them over and they love it. I got
Cool.
everybody, asking question. Daniel is on there asking a lot of questions. He actually went and got TrendSpider. So slowly by slowly, everybody's coming to the table and want to learn, because step by step is no stress.
Do you want to take this to the next level? Right? Type yes in the chat box if you're ready to take this to the next level, because I want to do something awesome for you today. Let me ask you a question. Would you like my help in implementing this in your trading? That's where the 10-minute trading room comes in. This will allow you to finally live the life you have always dreamed being a trader would be. We have daily live video calls, daily trade alerts, daily new trade setups, daily portfolio updates, daily market analysis, daily trading psychology, which is so important. And everything we trade together. So it's like getting a call from me personally every trading day, with what we're trading and why we're trading it, which is really the most important part. Every trading day. Plus, you can get rid of all the fake gurus that you're still following on Twitter. I know I was really guilty of that. Spending hours searching on YouTube for the next YOLO stock, scrolling on Twitter. Everything we trade together. So as a member, you get everything. You get the daily video calls for free. Your membership includes the daily video calls for free. The daily trade setups, the portfolio updates, market analysis, trading psychology, all that's included for free. And then every other Friday, just like you're doing right now, we do live training and Q&A sessions. Just like the one that you're watching right now. And we'll be building new courses together with your questions and your answers. That's so important to me. And these courses, like I said earlier on today, will be available for members only. You get to watch me personally showing you all the lessons that we use in these courses in our trading. And you can ask me questions as you need, right? You get it all. He's showing you what's working today, and it's like an up-to-the-minute field report sent from the front lines of the cutting edge of trading, and then showing you how to model it in your trading fast. And the only way to have access like this would be if I were to sit in the same room with you and you were looking shoulder to shoulder or looking over my shoulder with me every single day. Now, here's what a few of our members have said, right? Robert's saying, your trainings and advice have accelerated my learning 10x. This allowed me to start doing things that were sometimes unthinkable. Listening to Chris is well worth your time, even if you're a seasoned investor. So who's this for? Well, it's for new traders. It's for experienced traders. It's for busy professionals, some side hustlers. Like I know I've got a couple of my 10-minute stock traders in there who are side hustlers, and then parents who just want to trade while their kids nap. And if you've never traded before, don't worry. Is it okay if I over deliver? As a member, you're going to get everything. You're going to get the live training video calls, and you're going to get the live training every other week with me. And what else do you need to be successful? How about my flagship course, the AI Stock Trading System? And in this, we go step by step on how to use artificial intelligence in your trading. And also, I'll throw in the Real Trades case study course and the bullish, bearish, and neutral option strategy courses. So you'll be all set up there. And you're going to get all of that for free. As a member, you get everything included. That's the daily video calls, the live training and Q&A calls, and the full catalog of our best-selling courses. Okay? Well, what else would you need to be successful? We have video courses. We have our private chat room. And you're going to be part of a small group of high performers that are across the world that share valuable information that the rest of the planet never discovers. You're going to get the latest cutting edge trading tactics and strategies before anyone else knows about them, exactly like we talked about today, including the live video trade alerts, the live market analysis, the live portfolio analysis, the live trade setups, the live trading psychology. All of that is included, and the live training and Q&A calls, the live look over your shoulder trading setups, live trading courses built with your questions and your answers. All of this is included as a member. You get all of this. Plus, I'm offering this now as a member. You're going to get at least one free one-on-one consultation like what we showed in Kavan's video. And this is coming from me. Who am I? Here's a little bit about me, right? I went straight to the pioneers of successful trading. I learned directly from world famous market wizards and billionaire portfolio managers. And last year, the first year of implementing our strategy, we had a staggering 172.41% return on the first year of execution. So I'm pretty excited to share that with you. Right, you're going to get all of this, including the private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value $5,488. Right now, if all this did was finally set you up to see how real traders are profitable, do you think that'd be worth it? If all this did was help you shortcut the Wall Street learning curve, which hurts so bad, skip all those costly mistakes that most traders make and take years to figure out, would it be worth that? If all this did would give you the ability to model our trades and cut out the garbage that you see on the internet, you know what I'm talking about, would it be worth that? So I had two choices. The first option was to go as cheap as possible to try and help, everybody out there. But the thing is that there are lots of freebie seeking knuckleheads, the guys on Wall Street bets, right, that really shouldn't be trading anyways. But the second option, which we went with, is the little higher investment in yourself, in the program. And in exchange, you get my time and my attention, and you're going to get you set up to get the success that you've always wanted. What would that one perfect trade be worth to you? Do you think that if you develop the trades like I did, you get the same results that I did? For the right person, this membership should pay you, clearly. If you're like most people, you would tell me you'd probably pay for years of membership with just the proceeds of one single trade. I know a couple of people have already done that. You'd probably tell me that everything else after that would just be gravy. And that's why I'm sending you our total trading system every month, right? I want to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. And I take a lot of pride in helping our members win big and avoid the big losers too. And that's why this is worth $5,488, because you're here today. You're now officially a 10-minute stock trader. I'm going to give you a monster discount. Of course, I wouldn't ask you to pay $5,488. The monthly cost of being part of the 10-minute trading room is only $147. That's it. That's like $4 a day if you think about it that way. You're going to get the daily live video calls with me. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls. You're going to get the full catalog of our best-selling courses, and you're going to get a private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value, $5,488. And the monthly cost, like I said, it's only $147. You can boil it down to $4 a day. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time. You've got two choices, really. The first option is you do nothing and not take this leap of faith and continue to struggle, continue to search on YouTube, continue to search on Twitter, continue to listen to those fake gurus. The first option really is nothing changes. Or the second option, you invest in yourself. The second option is you learn how the market really works. The second option, you give yourself a shot. See if this works for you. Like I said, there's no contract. You can cancel at any time. But don't you think it'd be worth $147 to show me how we set up every single trade, every entry point, and every exit point, and like Kavan said earlier, step by step with no stress? Do you think it'd be worth $147 for you to come spend an entire month right here sitting next to me, looking over my shoulder on every trade we make? Well, that's pretty much what it's going to be exactly like. I'm going to walk you through every entry, every exit, and why we do everything. Personally showing you what's working and what's not. The daily trade alerts are meant to give you that exact same experience. And here's something else to consider. Do you think it'd be worth $147 to jump online with me twice a month to get all of your trading questions answered, right? If you have any questions, you just let me know. I got you. I'm here for you. I do this for you. That's what we do in the live training and Q&A calls. Plus, you can see your fellow members every day, and you can ask them what's working for them, right? And any of those scenarios sound like it might be useful to you, then this is clearly a no-brainer. You can still keep all the courses for free no matter what. You're going to get the daily trade alerts. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls, the full catalog for our best-selling courses, and best really of all is to get you set up for success, the private one-on-one consultation with me. The work we do together can change everything. You know that. This can change your life. This is the wealth ripple effect that we're talking about. You'll be able to take our trade ideas and plug them into your account effortlessly because I show you exactly step by step. You connect with me and your fellow members on our live video calls every day. Help you get the guidance and the focus that you need. So take this offer or become a member today. Remember, you're under no obligation. You can cancel at any time, and you can still keep all the gifts for free. And here's a couple other bonuses I want to tell you about. Here's 3 fast action bonuses if you sign up today. I wrote the Secret Investing book, and I want to send you an autographed copy in the mail, plus the audiobook. I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide to our 10 Minutes to Freedom trading strategy, which we use every single day. And finally, our top stock list, which I update this every single day. So every day that you get this is exactly what we are doing in the trading room. So let me show you how to sign up real quick. Just go to 10minutetradingroom.com. Click this big blue button right here that says, click here to take the guesswork out of trading right now. Then you're going to go to the next page, and it's going to ask you a couple of questions like your name, address, and everything. Put in your credit card number to get started. Make sure that you put in your t-shirt size because I want to send you a hashtag 10-minute stock trader because you're going to be officially one of us, officially a 10-minute stock trader. So if you have any questions at all whatsoever, feel free to reach out to our team. We would love to help you out, love to get you set up, and love to get you as part of the 10-minute trading room. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I hope that this was very enlightening, very useful, and I can't wait to see you inside the 10-minute trading room with us every single day, and in fact, later on today as we make our trades. Thank you so much. Hope to see you there.
Thank you all so much for coming today. Really appreciate your time and attention. I hope you took lots of notes because we covered the best way, in my opinion, to get started trading, and that's by following the trend. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you all later on in today's 10-minute trading room. Talk soon.